What's up, everybody? How you doing this morning? It's Wednesday. Happy hump day. It is 40 degrees outside. It's been raining all night. If you're going on the ice today, be careful. Bring the spud bar. I don't know how much it softened up, but with water sitting on top of ice, it can get soft and punky pretty quick. But and it's just this weather just doesn't want to do what it's supposed to do. I just looked at the 10-day forecast this morning, and it's already changed. The next week is in the 30s, low to mid 30s, as opposed to the other day when I looked at next week, it was highs were in the upper 20s, but everything was below freezing. So it's still changing. I don't know. Just be careful out there. That's all. Nothing nobody doesn't know already. Today's not going to be a long day. Good morning, Paul. Good morning, Eric. Today's not going to be a long deal. I've got to get on the job. I'm laying tile in this shower, this custom shower that I'm doing, and I got a lot of work ahead of me today. The homeowner went with a small format subway tile, glass subway tile, but she wants them standing like this. And man, I'll tell you, the number of pieces of tile I touched yesterday, if it was a larger format wall tile, I would have been long done. Instead, I'm about a third of the way done, and I was hustling because my mortar was starting to set. It's only got a 40-minute open time, and man, it was a long day yesterday. So I'm getting out of here early today, and I'm getting to the job because I got to get moving. Good morning, Central Square. John Wilczek. Nice morning, buddy. Nat Lussing. Good morning. Merlin Johnson. Good morning. So, okay, let's jump right into the fun stuff. All right. The fun stuff is I can officially announce that we are doing the Ice Bowl Super Bowl weekend, and that's February 11th, starting at 5 p.m. I met with Chuck. For those of you that watched or were at the Double Live event, we will be at the pier again for this event. I talked to my buddy Chuck last night. We got everything worked out. There will be the difference on this event is we're going to have 3 seminars. I already have one speaker locked in, Captain Nick Sokolowski, guide, charter captain, and owner of Soko Baits. I will say that already. I have Nick locked in for a ice fishing seminar. We'll have 3 seminars that evening. I have vendors that I am reaching out to in the next couple days. If anybody knows of an ice fishing vendor, ice fishing only, that might be interested in showcasing their wares that evening, please get a hold of me outside of YouTube on either of my social medias where you can DM me privately, either on Facebook or Instagram at The Awakening Angler for both of those. So the Ice Bowl, I'm looking for some vendors. I think I've got room for, I know I've got room for 10 vendors. I have a couple already. I'm looking for a couple more. So, and there's going to be a lot of good stuff there. Again, by the middle of February, we should be ice fishing. And by the middle of February, we should have at least another month of ice to go. So, I thought about doing this a month ago, and maybe I'm glad I didn't. Everybody's chomping at the bit to go ice fishing, and some people have made it out a couple times, like a day here, a day there, when we've had, that short window of safe ice. But yeah, so the Ice Bowl is officially happening. I'll have all the details to follow. I'm still working some of it out, but hopefully by the weekend I can have everything nailed down and we can have something officially out. So that was last night. And during that meeting last night, because the meeting itself was for Walleye Fest, and Walleye Fest is coming together nicely. We met with the booking agent who's going to handle all the music, and she has, I think, right now 3 bands lined up. I'm not going to mention them yet. We'll have more to come on Walleye Fest, but she's got 3 bands booked for the event already, and there will be, hopefully, also for Walleye Fest in the next week, there should be a schedule of events for the weekend festival, and that'll include, the Derby and all that stuff. But that's exciting. It's really coming together. We have another meeting coming up here in the next couple days with the town, with the Lions Club, with all that fun stuff. But it is coming together nicely, and from a personal standpoint, I really enjoy doing this. I love trying to bring and trying to think of everything that I would like to see when I go to one of these events. As all my years as a guide and charter captain up on Lake Ontario and in the tributaries, I've done sports shows all over the Northeast and even out into the Midwest. And for a while, I was working for another captain that they had a caribou hunting operation and a whitetail hunting operation, and I used to take that booth as far west as Cleveland, Ohio. They had a big 10-day show that was very similar to Harrisburg. So I've done the sports show circuit all of my young life. And when you go to a good sports show, and it really has, for me, a good sports show is one of 2 things. A general sports show is all the different facets of the outdoor industry represented. Guides and outfitters from different areas, tackle, guns, hunting, all of that stuff. And it gives you something, because in a perfect world, what a sports show is you pay your ticket to walk in the door, and I mean, it's much like the internet where everything is available, except you're doing it in person and you're physically seeing, touching, you can buy, you can book it. In some of the great sports shows, I remember the first year I went to Harrisburg, which was probably somewhere in the late 90s, 96, 97. There was 2 buildings in those days. One was fishing, one was hunting. And I went there the first time with a buddy of mine. We didn't have a booth. We just went down to see the show. I'd never been there before. And we spent one whole day walking the soles right off our shoes, and we're hoarse by the end of the day from talking to people so much. There was so much to look at. Every booth was a new something, Now, as things changed in this industry, and online really dominated and still does to this day, you lose that personal connection. You guys watch me every day because we have that connection with each other. That's what I would like to bring to these little micro events that I do. And it's going to lead up to, Walleye Fest is no micro event. It's going to be the biggest thing that I've ever been a part of. And it's so exciting. It's so exciting to be able to think up and bring to reality something that's going to be super fun, super fun. But these little micro events that we're doing, like the Ice Bowl, it's going to allow you to come into much more of an intimate setting and sit and listen to 3 great presentations, but then be able to go and interact with those people much differently than you would if you were online. Like I read comments and stuff, but I got to talk to some people at the Double Live event, like really talk to them. Um, and not for everybody in the world to see. Like we talked personally. That's what these micro events are going to do. And the Ice Bowl is going to be awesome in that respect, because as the internet changed where everybody put their money, whether you were a business or whether you were a consumer, it changed how everybody spent their money. And listen, there's a great there's a joy to sitting at home in your underwear and going through, a fishing tackle website and buying tackle. You don't have to leave the house. You don't have to do nothing. Great. But I'm still one of those people that I like to touch things and feel them before I buy them. I want to see, is it exactly what I want? Does this size and this size, which one do I think? Because I can compare them side by side, someone's personal recommendation, those kind of things. And so that's what these events bring. And again, in a world of remote relationships, this allows us to come together and have that real tangible relationship with somebody that delivers more than just comments on a screen. And that's why I do it. Nowadays, when you go to a sports show, I'm not trying to call anybody out, but I went to one last year here locally, and it didn't offer much. And what it did offer was kind of all over the place. And there just didn't seem very cohesive, and when you have a big venue like that, or any big venue, you have to fill it, and you can't have open space, and you got to have bodies through the door. Doing these micro events, I'm already seeing now, maybe someday we do a full-blown, big multiple day sports show. I don't know. But like Walleye Fest, I'm filling time. And Walleye Fest is going to be a whole different world. But these micro events, like I say, give you that chance to build a relationship. And in the smaller venue, everybody there gets more attention too, Ice Bowl. So here's a couple of our takeaways from today. I have 2 things that I'm looking for right now. I'm still looking for suggestions on vendors for the Ice Bowl. And for Walleye Fest, all of you out there, all of my fellow guides, all of the charter captains that work in Ida Lake, this is for Walleye Fest now. All of the captains that work, whether you know me personally or not, please reach out if you're interested. I have something that I'm putting into Walleye Fest and into the Derby, the Walleye Fest Derby, that is exclusive for captains. Okay, so all of the captains, please get a hold of me if you're going to be running trips that weekend. If you thought about running trips that weekend, if you'd like to run trips that weekend, all of my charter captain buddies out there, again, that's a general term, whether we know each other personally or not, please reach out to me on and DM me on the side, either on Facebook or Instagram, so we can talk directly about what my plan is for that. That I think is going to be a lot of fun and a little extra kick. And that's what Walleye Fest and the Walleye Derby in Walleye Fest is going to be like. I'm scouring through all of the things that the Lions Club did and didn't do, and they did an amazing job for a lot of years, and we're going to take that to the next level. Between prize money and and merchandise, this derby will be and will attract people from far and wide, well outside of the central New York area. And it's going to be the cornerstone of the central New York fishing season. I can't think of anything else we could do that would bring that much attention to the fishing here on Oneida Lake, but also in central New York. I can't think of any place else we would do something that would be of this size. So guides, charters, captains, please get a hold of me. Anybody here, if they have a suggestion for a possible vendor for the ice fishing event for the Ice Bowl, let me know. Let's see what else we can do. We can do a quick few minutes. It's 8:23. Let's go till 8:30. If anybody has any questions now they want to talk about, questions about either of the events, we can talk about that real quick. Like I say, we got a few more minutes. I know everybody's probably busy this morning. What a gnarly day commute yesterday morning was. I was at the job already, and Courtney sent me a picture of a tractor, a tractor trailer, just the tractor that was bobtailing down our road, that flipped over in the ditch out in our front yard, wiped out my and my two neighbors' mailboxes. And my one neighbor's mailbox, get this, I've replaced it 3 times. This will be the 3rd time now in the last 6 months. I live on a busy road, and people drive so fast up and down this road that, guy tried to tell the cop that he was doing 35. Yeah, no way. I mean, it was icy, don't get me wrong, but no way. You don't go that far and then end up on your side. Kevin Stone, where will Walleye Fest Central be located? That is an outstanding question, Kevin. The Derby and Walleye Fest headquarters and the grounds for all of the events and the concert and all of that stuff, the Derby headquarters will be at Lighthouse Park on the Oneida River in Central Square, town of Hastings. It is, depending on where you're coming from, if you're coming from the south, you would take Route 11 just over the Oneida River Bridge, right there where the waterfront is, and you make a left on 37, and it's going to be right down the street, quarter of a mile. If you're coming from the north, you would come down Route 11 to the light at 37, and you'd make a right. Same thing. It's on the water. There's dockage. Brewerton Boatyard is directly across the river with a ramp and dockage. So that's where all of the festivities will be taking place. I do not yet have ticket where you can buy ticket information yet. I'm assuming tickets won't go on sale till sometime late March, early April. I don't have that pinned down yet, and I do not yet have weigh-in locations settled yet, but I'm working on that as well. But great Kevin question. Great question. Jesus, I still can't say it. Great question, Kevin. How's that? Tongue-tied this morning. Yeah. The festival grounds will be right there at Lighthouse Park. Who did I miss here? Jim Hagler, good morning. Paul Messina, good morning, buddy. Any fin is possible, good morning. Let's see here. Let's see what else. Well, I think that's it, guys. If there's no more questions from anybody, then we'll call it a day. It's Wednesday. Happy hump day. And see you guys tomorrow. I'm not sure what we're going to do tomorrow. We'll do some sort of presentation tomorrow, I would think. Nat Lussey, how's the ice thickness? I can't imagine it's building any ice since early yesterday. And we talked about it earlier. If there's water sitting on top of the ice, boy, you got to be real careful because that water is going to go somewhere and it's going to figure out a way to get through the ice and down to the rest of the water. That's just its nature. You got to worry about you got to worry about holes. You got to worry about shorelines. So everybody be careful. I'm not telling you what to do, but be careful. All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Have a great day. Do something good for yourself today. Please do something good for yourself. And I will see you guys in the morning. Ooh, look at that. The wing's getting better. Snap that right up there. Keep your tip up.